this. Incredible! This is
The Grove Podcast.
Hot off the pitch.
Hello everyone, my name is Tabs and welcome to the Grove Podcast Hot Off the Pitch live stream and match instant reaction podcast, where we will bring you an instant reaction to Arsenal games minutes after the final whistle. And if you're watching live, feel free to drop a comment, leave your 3-word reviews to get involved. And to be honest, I'm not sure we really want to be doing this one today, but we will. We're Arsenal fans after all. And that game happened. And just before we get on with it, is it actually recording? Is it showing up on the stream, Gianluca?
Yeah, it's
okay. So and joining me to discuss that game is my son, the boy, Gianluca. How are you doing? We haven't actually. I left the living room at the final whistle, and we haven't actually spoken.
Spoke more with Mon about it than you.
Yeah, exactly. So Arsenal 2, no, Man City 2, Arsenal 1.
I wish.
Yeah, we do indeed. How are you feeling? Like literally immediately after that, how you 10 minutes after the final whistle, where's your head at?
It's a bit empty. I don't really know. I'm not really too over emotional because it's not like I didn't expect us to lose the game and I came into with very little hope, so it's quite hard to be insanely disappointed when the hope wasn't there in the first place. But it was mainly the manner of the performance that was more the fact that we lost when we actually showed up was a bit more disappointing, and that was more of the fact that I'm a bit upset because we actually put on a good performance, had chances, and still lost. That's why I feel just a bit like empty. And it was a game of fine margins, and they're always the ones that are tough to take. Like a couple of things go our way, and don't go City's way, and you feel completely different. But it's quite hard to feel positive in this situation.
No, of course. Look, everyone's going to be feeling down. Look, ultimately, the season is not over. It's just got harder, and look, the momentum's their way. They beat Burnley or whatever, and they're going to be top of the league, and they've only been top of the league 6 days. So look, we're not going to be here to say that, to try and cheer everyone up. Everyone is absolutely down. But it is not over. It's now basically they win the game and it's basically down to goal difference, and then it's neck and neck. So a five game shootout, and look, it's interesting what you said there about feeling that because it was close, because it was a margins, hard to take in a way. Considering recent performances, today was better, and so I think there are elements of the performance we can criticize, but it's not like the Bournemouth game or the Southampton game or even the Carabao Cup final, where I think we did play better to a certain extent. Did we play our best? No, but I think we played better. But you're right. It was. I think today was about moment. I think we talked about it at half time. It's good. The second half is going to be who takes the moment. It's going to be the moment who takes their chances. And at the end of the day, for me, it was two things today. One was they took their one chance in the second half. They had one chance in the second half. That was it. Nothing in the second half, and they took their one chance, and that was easily avoidable. We had two or three. We had one clear cut chance at the end, but we had more of the moments. But for me, where
Havertz one,
the Havertz way, I've got here Kai. I mean, it's like, man, he headed that too well, got underneath it. You've got to be getting that one on target. You have to be getting that on target. Even if you just miss it a bit, head it down, that's a goal, and that's 2-2, and that's your season there. And that's the difference. Those are fine margins, but also for me, I think we lost it in midfield. If you compare what Rodri and Silva were doing in comparison to Zubimendi, Rice, and Odegaard, for me, that's where we lost. For me, that was the difference. Not it was massively dominated, but that was the difference for me. I think over
control on the game. which obviously is hard when you're going away to the Etihad and you don't really expect too much control. But that all stems from our midfielders, and we didn't seem to ever get a grip of the game, really.
No, you're right, but there is that element that you're not going to go. He said that we're going to be brave, and we all said no. We need to be brave. We're not going to sit back. But you're right. It's also going to the Etihad. These are quality midfielders on a bit of form. They're at home. It is going to be hard to dominate them. But on that point about being brave, do you think? Yeah, I mean, do you think we were brave? Do you think? Do you think there was an element of that, trying to not quite take the game to City, but be a bit? I said in the past we've been like too many passes back to Raya, too passive. Do you think there was an element of being brave today?
The first thing I said is I think the performance was definitely better than what I expected. I did think we played a lot better than we have done in recent games, but I mean that is a low bar, so it's not saying much. But no, I was quite pleasantly surprised with the way we played. I do think there are positives to take in the way we played, and it's not all. I mean, obviously the main thing is the result, but we didn't just roll over for City. We didn't just play for 0-0. We did try to take the game to them with the way that we pressed, especially, which obviously got us the goal in the first half. The way that we started was very, very positive. In the first half, we were definitely brave. The one thing I think we could have done better on, in my opinion, was counterattacks. I think City, we saw it with the Havertz one-on-one. City were there open at the back to be exploited once we won the ball, and if we couldn't ever get control of the ball in the midfield once after a turnover, then we need to try and get them on the counter-attack more, because they were very, very open in defence, and I feel like we could have been braver in that sense and made more of the turnovers and the breaks. I mean, it is hard with Havertz because he's not exact, and we weren't. He was more holding up and trying to bring everyone in. But I feel like we could have been braver in that sense. But I do think with the press, the way we started, and the way that we tried to play, it was positive.
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, you're right. I think that first half, you could see from the very beginning, we were pressing high. We were challenging them. Look, the way we got our goal, and they didn't like it. They looked at ease, and it looked good. I think we both said though, it's like, how long is this going to last? And you could see after about half an hour, Odegaard not doing it so much, and it sort of petered out a bit. So I think we were brave, trying to play the game more in their half, trying to create turnovers, trying to play the transitions. I think we also felt that just little things just wouldn't fall our way. The ball, every time we did do that, the ball wouldn't fall our way. City would, and all the ricochets would always sort of fall City's way. Granted, I know how we got the goal, but it just never landed for us in a certain way that was it. And also I never felt that City had a majority of the possession. In terms of the stats, I mean, 59-41 in the overall game. So we and that was always going to be the case. But it wasn't like they were peppering our goal. It's not like they were really, we were boxed in. They may have had the possession, and it wasn't passive possession, but it wasn't like a huge threat, and it wasn't like chance after chance after chance, type thing. So I think again we had it at arm's length, and it was just a tight game on tight margins, and the difference is they've got Haaland, who can just have that one chance and finish it off, and Kai, as great as he did for the first goal, a couple of times when he's breaking through in the second half, handball rather than getting in front of Silva, that header, just that the difference in quality, it can make the difference. And look, we hit the post a couple of times. How's your luck? What can you do? It's not like we didn't try, but when the moment mattered, the moment counted, we weren't able to finish it off. And 2-2 would have been fantastic. We would have been ecstatic, and it wasn't meant to be. But look, in terms of where we are in terms of the league. Okay, right, game in hand, they're 3 points behind and they're one goal difference. So even then, if they only beat Burnley 1-0, then it's okay. They go ahead on goals scored. So that's the thing. I think that's where it lands. It goes on goals scored. So I mean, how are your thoughts? Yeah, with that in terms of the rest of the season, how would you feel? We're obviously very down, but yeah, again, you said 5-game shootout. Yeah, assuming they beat Burnley. So yeah, how are you feeling with the rest of the season? At this moment in time.
Well, before this game was a bit doom and gloom. I think it really, because it's hard to judge how we're going to play, because games like this are not one-offs, but you tend to play better in bigger games. So and form sort of goes out the window a little bit. So it's hard to, like, when we play against Newcastle, I'm not really sure how we're going to play, whether we'll play like a bit better like we did against City or like we did in the Bournemouth game. Either way, I do not see us winning all 5 games. West Ham won't be an easy place to go to. They'll be fighting for their lives. We always seem to mess it up against Newcastle one way or another. So, I don't see us winning all 5 games. I can see City, with the momentum that they have and the form they're on, winning them all. And even if we do win them all, I don't see us outscoring City, because we're just not a team that scores a lot of goals. So right now, not the most positive, but City have slip-ups in them. Even though it is the back end of the season and maybe it's not likely during this period of time. But there's no guarantees, and we just need to do what we can. I think, we can do it. And I think as much as that result was negative, there are positives to take from the performance, and we can definitely take that into the last 5 games.
Yeah, I mean, we've got Newcastle next week at home, Fulham at home, West Ham away, Burnley at home, Crystal Palace away, and they've got Burnley away, Everton away, Brentford at home, Bournemouth away, Villa at home, and they've got to fill in the Palace game as well. No, and they've also got their likelihood is that they'll beat Southampton in the FA Cup semi-final and they'll get through to the final. We've got Atletico Madrid in between as well to deal with. So it isn't over. They're now in the driving seat. For sure. There may be twists and turns. It may be right. We go and we somehow the pressure's off, and we go on, and the pressure's on them, and suddenly Everton turn them over, or Bournemouth to turn them over, because now you got Everton and Bournemouth are playing for Europa positions. Even Brentford are playing for positions. I think our one that's the toughest one is, I don't think Fulham are, is West Ham. The rest, and stuff like that. So. Yeah, it is going to be feel massively down at the moment. I think in terms of back to today, I think we gave it a good shot. I think in certain areas the quality told, in terms of we're potentially missing certain players. What a difference Saka might have made on the right wing. Madueke, in the first half, again, was a Madueke performance. Maybe he was injured and he came off and brought in Martinelli. Maybe that Martinelli was there to cover Mosquera, because we were worried about Mosquera against Docker, and Mosquera in a yellow card. But I think just in certain players, having Timber at right back as well instead of Mosquera would have been great. But I think there were some positive in terms of Eze in the second half. What did you make of the Eze substitution? We both said, the Eze substitution, coming off. It felt like he was the one person that could potentially create something.
Well, Eze's a moments player, and in that game, we saw it with that snapshot that it came straight off the post, and with the run that he made that set up the Havertz chance. He is very good at creating something out of nothing, and I just think that was the type of game where that could happen, and we needed something like that just out of the blue that could change the game around. And especially with Odegaard coming back from an injury. I was thought it was a bit strange how he played the full game. He didn't have a bad performance by any means, but I was a bit confused when I saw Eze come off, and maybe just even move him into the middle. Trossard stays out left and take Odegaard off. I thought maybe it would have been a better option. And I think from then we seemed, maybe it was after the City goal. I don't know if it was after the City goal or after the subs, but we seemed very flat, and we didn't do anything until the end of the game.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. After the City goal, nothing. I mean, they had nothing, and we had nothing. It was a very, played between the boxes sort of game. Well, you say, well, okay, we had the was the Gabriel header before or after? I think it was.
It's a bit different from a corner, but
yeah. But and then but again, in a game like this, it's going to be minimal chance. I think it was the way the game goes after the goal. You've got to stay in it. Going 3-1 down, then that is it. So you've got to really try and at least stay in the game, and then maybe go for it. But yeah, you're right. Maybe I think with the league on the line, maybe I think we could have pushed further forward, tried a bit more, just took a few more risks. But again, there's the opposition. City didn't allow it. I think City sat back, and they've always got their danger on the flanks to break out, and they've also got Haaland out there as well. So yeah, I mean, yeah, if we go through, I said a few statistics. We said City 60-40 in terms of possession. They had 1.4 XG to our 1.5, 15 shots to our 9, 5 shots on target to our 3, 5 big chances each. They missed 3, we missed 4. So I think, again, it was a very even team. I don't think they outplayed us as such. They played like a home team, had a bit more possession, and it's I don't know. Is it? I don't know if it's a missed opportunity. I think it was a missed opportunity to get a result.
Yeah,
not necessarily a win, but I think we were good enough for a draw.
Definitely, I would agree.
Yeah, and look, the way the game panned out. I know that, and I thought we defended well. I think first half was a bit end to end. I think both teams were making mistakes, both pressed aggressively, and that's where the goals came from. The Cherki goal. What did you think of the Cherki goal? Was it more him or us?
Him. I think it's hard in that situation because none of the players want to give a penalty away. Eze maybe could have done a bit better, but I wasn't really 100% sure on that. Of looking back at the replays, that was my original reaction, that Eze probably could have challenged. Was it Rodri or in the air? But then once he gets into the area, obviously you can come out to him, but the ball landed at his feet. He was in the area. You don't want to give a penalty away. It was good fee from him and a good finish. But
it's nothing we can do, and not nothing we can do. Yeah, maybe we could have defended better. Like Gabriel sort of went with his chest, and then he did that thing when he sort of like puts his leg out and behind him, and maybe you think he could have fronted him up better. But no, a good goal, good finish. I think we'd got away with a moment before that. Early on, we started the game. David Raya with a miscontrol, and then was it? I think Semenyo Udoku hits the post. So it's not that it had been coming, but again, just that sort of moment, and then straight away afterwards, it was really good that we equalised so soon, and we kicked the ball long into the corner, and I think it was a deliberate tactic. They play it back, and this is where our press did work, and Donnarumma isn't the best with his feet, and brilliant by Kai to shut him down, and it goes in, and we think, oh great, 1-1, back in it, and it sort of evened out. I think the most of the threat from them came from their corners. I mean, Silva's corners were going right under the post. They're going in. We cleared them quite well, but they were dangerous. I don't recall us really doing anything else in that second half. I don't know if there were any chances. I think again, I think it was a bit more structured from both players. I think Hincapié made a good block against Semenyo. I think both teams had a number of corners, but nothing. Yeah, fairly even till half time.
In the second half of
in the first half. Yeah. And then we're expecting more of the same in the second half, but City, like they did in the Carabao Cup final, just really sort of stepped up a gear.
Yeah, they came out of the blocks really fast, to be fair, like we did at the first, which but it's not like they've really they did a lot, but they didn't actually score. And then that's when I thought we could have capitalized with that, with the chances that we had literally straight after, and that would have been like a sucker punch to them. But eventually the pressure told. We didn't take our chances, and you could sort of feel it was coming by the way that they were playing a little bit. You were just hoping that maybe we could have a moment of magic break or something like that. But they did come up fast. You have to give them credit. The goal was a bit it was a bit fortunate the way it fell to Haaland, but I mean they put a ball into the box and Haaland was just there, right place, right time.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they were driving into the box. They were like, making multiple sort of entries into our box. So I guess that sheer weight of pressure, even if it's not chance after chance after chance, it's a bit like in the Carabao Cup final. You know, you're playing in and around the box enough, it will tell. But we could have gone. I think the Eze shot before that, or would the Eze one would have made it 2-1?
The Eze shot was 1-1.
Oh, okay. Oh, was that one? No, was that was that one? Was that one? Yeah, 1-1. Yeah. So yeah, before that, yeah, we did have that chance, and Eze has a fantastic shot. Well, actually, before that, there were around 60 minutes. 60 minutes was where the game changed. Between 60 and 70, Kai Havertz goes through and has a good chance, and Donnarumma makes sort of two saves, once against against Donnarumma, and once against Havertz, and then the rebound once against Martinelli. And then 1 minute afterwards, Eberechi does really well on the edge of the box, lashes it left foot and hits it so well. And you're just thinking, I'll just go in off the inside of the post, and it just rolls across and it's like, and it rolls across. So, yeah, again, we're trying. We may make a couple of chances. The Havertz one, I think, is a good save. Again, from Martinelli, just doesn't come down to him. Good save. And then soon after, 65th minute, Haaland gets his goal. I think it stems from us. There was a bad press. Either Odegaard went forward or Martinelli. They both did.
It went on the centre back when Donnarumma had the ball in his hands.
Yeah,
left a massive gap for Nico O'Reilly. I realised the same thing had happened once before in that half, and they created a chance from it. And I was just like, he does not need to press that high. O'Reilly is the one that's the danger man. You can let the centre back have the ball, but then again, the risks that we take when we're pressing so high. So but it get rewarded from it like we did, and then that happens.
It felt like a miscoordination, because there didn't need to be two of them going there, because O'Reilly was in so much space, and he broke down. And even then, with the way it fell to Haaland through, I think, Rodri's legs, and look, those are the fine moments. And then there was a bit of a flashpoint come 83, and look, they've been battling all game, and I think they love the battle, and they're both up for it, and you can tell by Haaland's reaction to the incident that he stands up for it. He doesn't want to be seen to be one to sort of make a meal out of it. But do you think Gabriel was lucky to stay on?
If Haaland had done the same thing to Gabriel, we would want him sent off. So from a neutral perspective, I think it's probably quite lucky to remain on the pitch. And if the situation had been, I can see why people would be like, "Oh, that was definitely a red card. Like, what the hell is he doing? He should never have done it in the first place." And yes, he was quite fortunate to only receive yellow, and I think Haaland was quite fortunate to even get a yellow card in the first place.
Yeah, the only thing that I think maybe the saving thing is because their heads were touching. So even when he moved his head, it's not like he moved his head away and then reconnect. I know we're getting into nuance of headbutting.
The head was
their head was already attached. Their head was already touching. So all he did was, he did make it push his head more forward. So instead of like away and into it, if the head's detached, then fair enough. But because it didn't, I think maybe that's the slight nuance. And I think Anthony Taylor managed it well. I think maybe with my Arsenal tinted glasses on, I would suggest that if Haaland did it, but in that way, and their heads didn't move from each other, I'd be like, okay, yellow card, keep both on, blah 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 blah. But so maybe we're a bit lucky. I think Mike Dean was saying it should have been a red, and but I think because he called it a yellow on the pitch, then they're not going to
Clear and obvious. Not going to have.
Yeah, and it wasn't clear and obvious. But look, City sort of slowed the game down. They controlled the tempo. I think, yeah, this is where maybe fatigue set in. Maybe certain players just you know, don't know. We just maybe just didn't have that energy. Maybe just that quality, you know. But we did create the moment, and there was like, you know, we did have a corner in the 94th minute. And then the header by Kai Havertz. I mean, we worked it out really well. Trossard with a fantastic cross, and he's there. Just didn't take a chance, and City sort of held maybe on a plane that if it was 2-2, I think that would have also been fair. But a game of moments, a game of one team taking their chances and another not. So, as I said, we are down. We're not out. There's still a lot to go. We've still got a Champions League semi-final and hopefully final to look forward to. And it's just the way it is. And look, we have to take it on the chin. Yeah, we just have to take it on the chin. I think you know, I think because of the manner of the defeat, I think the fallout may be less. I think less than had we just, you know, done a 4-1 Rob Holding in defence type stuff. But yes, it's going to be a difficult. And look, we've now got a long week until Newcastle. We've got a whole week to sort of pick ourselves up. But I can't even be asked with all the talk. Yeah, we'll go again. Yeah, we'll do this. It's like, yeah, we know that. Let's just go in and try and
show us.
Yeah, show us. Yeah, do it. And yeah, I don't want to be too harsh on them because they have to say something. They have to say the right things and so on. And it's bizarre because like we go all season not losing hardly anything, and then this is like 2 league games back to back. Okay, granted, it's City away. It's not unsurprising. But yeah, it's a blow, but not a knockout blow. Anyone from the Arsenal team that you think stood out in terms of a half decent performance? Anyone worth calling out? Yeah. And if there wasn't, don't worry about it. But I'm struggling to think of one. But anyone.
No one was really, really bad, but no one was really, really good either. I mean, no.
But yeah, and not even. I mean, Declan Rice in the first half a bit, but his second half wasn't there. Look, I think the defenders did well. I think Gabriel stood up quite. Yeah, did well, and I don't think they did anything wrong. I think Kai showed why he was meant to be our centre forward. Well, apart from that one miss, but what he offers versus Gyökeres. Really disappointed with Martinelli. Hate to call it out, but I think he came on to offer support to Mosquera defensively, but going forward, just offered nothing. And I think, I'm not too sure. Maybe again, Madueke is nursing an injury. Yeah, today was a day. Unfortunately, we did miss Saka, and we did miss Timber and we missed Calafiori as well. There was I think Hincapié did well in parts, but again, I think all these in parts, but no one really stood out. I think just sums up the game. Had chances to win it, missed the key moments. City capitalized, and it wasn't a brilliant performance, wasn't a bad performance, just wasn't enough. So let's go on to the 3-word reviews. So whilst I'm reading them out, you can have a think of if you have a 3-word review. So and funny enough, I don't have that many. There's not a lot of people that want to engage basically after today, but we have on Blue Sky Hans Lejeune, down not out, and contrasting that, AB Gunnar, that's game over. So on Threads, we have, what do we have? We have Justin Peter 7, such fine margins. The Retro Guna, take your chances. WTFI Jordan, game or Vinches, ask Cannon Picks, Ian of this parish, and I hope your back feels better, Ian. It's not over. And Leg Puppy, leave Ezra on. Yeah, I think I agree with all of those.
Yeah, they summed it up quite nicely, to be fair.
Yeah, and X, nothing. And let me just go to the Grove WhatsApp group chat to see if anybody, I'm trying to avoid the head loss, and I'm just going to look at the 3 words. So we have, what do we have? We have Moz, second half frauds. Okay, yeah. Owen, and yeah, look, I think our second half performances, even though I think we scored the most goals in the second half, just haven't been showing it recently. Owen, fire snuffed out. Noel Mickedy, all for nothing. Dennis, the expected result. Look, I'm not going with the I told you so's, but there we go. Darwitt didn't finish chances. Mads, second once again. Kuziva, why Kai? Yeah. And Shanice, another season wasted. And Cheese a bit more positive. Up for grabs. Daljit he's down, not out. That's good. And yeah, look, I think that's where I'm landing. I think that's where I'm landing. Down, not out. It's I was gonna be difficult. That's another 3-1. But yeah, we're just gonna have to pick ourselves up. Do you have one, or I guess it's similar to
all of the same,
all of the above? Yeah. Okay, so look, that's it. We've got a week to, I don't know what the phrase is, but just a week to feel sorry for ourselves and then pick ourselves back up, and we go again. We have to go again. We have to believe. We have to hope. Maybe this is the season that we win the Champions League, and we've got to go through this pain till the last day, until the 31st of May to finally enjoy it. Who knows? 3-0 nils in the Champions League, and we're lifting the Big Ear trophy. So that's all it takes. So yeah, I don't think there's a lot more we can say about that. Have you got any final thoughts?
Just
go on. Well, yeah, you're speaking for you. You're speaking for the youth audience today.
I think the fans need to still get behind the team. We can't just be all doom and gloom. There's still 5 massive games left in the league, and we still are in the last 4 of Europe, and have made back-to-back semi-finals for the first time in our history. So you know what? Okay, this is my 3-word review.
Okay.
Could be Spurs.
Yes, could be Spurs. Great. So that's where we've landed. That our only solace is just not being Spurs.
That is the silver lining in every scenario this season. We're not Tottenham.
Yeah,
and I think that's Tottenham. Good thing to take.
There we go. Okay. Well, on that note, thank you, Gianluca, for joining me this evening. Whilst all the others were just not able to speak, I do appreciate it. So thank you for that.
No worries.
And now go tidy your room. I'm not sure having the.
It's yours.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, can you cover that? I can't believe having my laundry on show, my keks on show in the background was the best choice. I should have stopped the feed. Well, yeah. Anyway, enough of that. Right. Anyway, so look, for those that listened live, thank you for joining. For those that are going to listen when we release this, appreciate it. Yeah. All emotions are valid at this moment in time, and I don't blame you for it. And look, thank you for those that commented, left 3-word reviews. You can follow us on Threads, Blue Sky, Instagram, TikTok, at the Grove AFC, as well on podcast, Apple, Spotify, and YouTube channel. So our next pod, we may do a more in-depth review of the City game Monday, Tuesday, or more likely, given the mood, we'll do a preview of next week's Newcastle game Wednesday, Thursday, or something like that. And if you enjoy what you hear, please leave us a like, subscribe, 5-star rating on the apps, on the YouTube. That would be much appreciated and helps get us into the ears of the less fortunate. So, thank you for listening. Go and do something else. Think about something else. Avoid the socials. Just try and find some peace somewhere. Was it touch some grass? Is what they say?
Go touch grass. Yeah.
Go and touch some grass. Go and be one with nature. Walk a dog.
Or cry. If you
Or cry. Or cry. Go into a dark room with a bottle of whiskey and cry. Whatever floats your boat. And until the next time, come on, you Gunners.